While Roadhouse looks like it could prove a big hit, Jake Gyllenhaal's upcoming remake will need to upend a dispiriting trend to succeed. 1989's Roadhouse was a massive success upon release, earning over $60 million on a budget of only $15 million. However, few movies were able to replicate the Patrick Swayze vehicle's success. Although Roadhouse boasted a very simple story setup, Swayze's unique charm seemed central to its allure. Filmmakers learned this the hard way as a slew of movies about similarly tough small-town antiheroes went straight to video or underperformed at the box office. 2024's upcoming Roadhouse remake from director Doug Liman looks like it could recapture the cheesy charm of the original movie, although the modern movie has a slicker look and more self-aware tone. However, replicating Roadhouse's success could prove harder than the filmmakers think. Jake Gyllenhaal has been an inconsistent box office draw throughout his career, weathering some high-profile flops alongside many successes. MMA star Conor McGregor's role in the movie could make it popular with UFC fans, but may also impact its critical credibility. Most of all, Roadhouse must beat a long-standing remake trend to succeed. Remakes of Patrick Swayze remakes haven't worked. 3 earlier reimaginings of Swayze's biggest hits failed. A Man Stands in Front of a Mountain Range in Point Break 2015. Roadhouse will be the 4th high-profile remake of a major Swayze movie. Until now, all 3 earlier attempts to remake Swayze's movies have failed, with 2012's Red Dawn, 2015's reimagining of Point Break, and 2017's TV movie remake of Dirty Dancing all falling flat. Point Break's remake was a disaster, earning only $130 million on a budget of $100 million, while 2012's Red Dawn failed to even recoup its $65 million budget after years of pre-release complications. Dirty Dancing's TV movie remake, meanwhile, was savaged by critics who called it unnecessary, slow, and dull. Thus, while Roadhouse could make Gyllenhaal an action star, the remake faces an uphill battle. The public hasn't responded well to earlier attempts at recapturing Swayze's unique appeal, with both Point Break and Red Dawn earning abominable reviews alongside their weak box office performances. In all 3 cases, critics agreed that there was a level of agreeably goofy, cheesy charm to the original movies that was absent from their reimaginings. Red Dawn took itself too seriously, Point Break lacked the original movie's intensity thanks to its PG-13 rating, and Dirty Dancing inexplicably turned its story into a musical. Why it's so hard to remake Patrick Swayze movies. Swayze's unique appeal has not yet been replicated his replacements. Swayze's screen presence is difficult to emulate as Hollywood has repeatedly learned at great expense. The actor somehow always nailed the right balance of cool, cocky, funny, and likable that was immortalized in Egu and Hartley's 2023 tribute, Swayze, and much of the star's appeal was unique to his time. The over-the-top charms of Dirty Dancing and Point Break don't work as well in an era of self-aware post-irony, while the earnest jingoism of Red Dawn seemed utterly bizarre in the early 2010s. Put simply, there aren't many stars like Swayze in 2024, which explains Gyllenhaal's Roadhouse strategy. Judging by the movie's trailer, Gyllenhaal's version of Roadhouse's hero won't be a tranquil, zen figure who only fights when necessary. While Swayze's take on the character was famous for his stoic ethos, Gyllenhaal's Dalton is already cockier, more abrasive, and more outspoken. This might seem like a betrayal of the character, but it is arguably the only way for the star to emerge from the long shadow cast by Swayze's original performance. Swayze is inimitable, so Gyllenhaal's Roadhouse remake performance won't be an impression, meaning the star can fail or succeed on his own merits. Can the Roadhouse remake overcome the Patrick Swayze remake problem? Roadhouse 2024's cast and director bode well for the upcoming action movie. Jake Gyllenhaal and Daniela Melchior in Roadhouse. Doug Liman has made a career out of turning potentially cringeworthy high concepts like Edge of Tomorrow and Mr. and Mrs. Smith into stylish, smart, self-aware action comedies. Similarly, Gyllenhaal has always been at his best when the star is playing brooding anti-heroes with a dark sense of humor, which the remake's version of Dalton appears to be. As such, Roadhouse's 2024 remake could end up becoming a surprise success that ends the streak of failed Swayze remakes. However, it will only be by moving away from the original movie that 2024's Roadhouse can succeed. Gyllenhaal and Liman could pull off this remake provided Roadhouse doesn't try to replicate the original movie's tone and its star doesn't try to copy Swayze's charisma. 1989's Roadhouse is a product of its time, and the best thing that the remake can do is acknowledge its uniquely 80s appeal while offering a fresh spin on the basic premise. If Roadhouse instead replicates the original movie verbatim, the 2024 remake will end up just like earlier Swayze reimaginings.